So, welcome to another episode of Avant-Garde Talk. This is episode number 3 for us, and we're very excited to be back with y'all and having a conversation about holidays. And we really want to, I was talking to the group here, and we were having a conversation about the holidays, and I was just sharing with them about me walking to a store. It's going to rename nameless. And I walk into the store and I'm already preparing myself for, Halloween is coming and things like that. And I'm expecting to see a lot of things in regards to Halloween. And I walked in and all what I see is Christmas stuff. And it really created some sort of an urgency and anxiety inside of me. And I was just like, I don't know, it was a very different emotion that I typically get in October. I probably feel like this kind of like November. But it was really interesting to me to see a lot of fall things, for the season of the fall, but Christmas stuff. So my question is, guys, what do we do already? Is a lot of things being thrown at us in this right now, and it's the holidays, and it's a lot of pressure. And this is really, we were coming just to the end of November. So here I'm looking forward to the fall and Thanksgiving first. So how do we manage these holidays and what's happening to us?
I think we all kind of experience that all the time. I mean, I've had similar situations where I'm like, there's already Christmas stuff, I've seen houses already decorated with Christmas lights.
Oh, gosh.
And I'm like, hold on, what's going on? We forgot Halloween, we forgot Thanksgiving. And I think just in general in society, we're kind of trying to speed things up, and it's always kind of constantly on the go. And it's like, okay, after Halloween is Thanksgiving, we got to prepare for Thanksgiving. Okay, after Thanksgiving, now it's Christmas. And it's kind of like once fall hits, it's almost like stress and anxiety levels just skyrocket. I mean, I don't know about everybody else, but for me, it just kind of, I'm like, okay, here we go.
And what do we do? Because I'm assuming this is happening to a lot of people.
Absolutely. Whether it's walking into a store, or if you like to follow Instagram, and there are bloggers who start decorating 3 months ahead and in ways that I'll never be able to replicate anyway. It's very stressful, and I think it's important to stay mindful, especially if you have anxiety already. Just that it's not a competition. You can go at your own pace, stay mindful, and stop and smell the roses. It's okay to enjoy each season for itself.
I think there's so many things that contribute to holiday stress. People have more time with families. That is sometimes difficult.
Yes.
They have long lists of things that they feel like they need to buy, or, people they need to please. I feel like that's such a big part of the holiday stress, and it's unfortunate and almost ironic because that's not really what everyone aims to focus on during holiday time. But it happens, and then we kind of rush through it all, and then we get to the end and we're like, thank goodness it's over. and then we kind of regret that,
Yes.
So I think one thing that's helpful, at least for me, is like before we get too far sucked in, is to kind of prioritize like what we want to see happen during the holidays, or what is the most important things to us, and maybe it is getting the right gifts, or maybe it is planning the right meal, or maybe it is spending time with certain people, but maybe not all of those things every day of the holidays, and so if we can kind of let it be okay that we're not going to do all of it all at once, then it eases the pressure a little bit, because it seems like there's other people doing all the other things all the time.
Yeah.
You talk about competition that is not a competition, and it made me think that sometimes some people take it to that level, even in the decorations, take it to that level of competition. You mentioned anxiety, and how the stress level, I wonder what do we know about what the National Alliance for Mental Illness says about the holidays for the people who have some mental health challenges.
So actually 64% of individuals who have already some mental health issues, their anxiety level, their stress level, all of their symptoms kind of get worse during the holidays. And it's because of that kind of hustle and bustle. Okay, I've got to get ready. I'm hosting my family this year for Thanksgiving, so I got to make sure I've got the turkey and the stuffing and everything. Or, okay, we're going to San Diego for Christmas this year. Now we got to make sure we have everything packed. And it's just a lot of preparation. And I think that preparation just kind of gets to us and we're like, okay, what do I do? How am I going to figure this out?
Yeah, I agree. And I think knowing yourself, just your personality, in addition to any possible anxiety that you have, are you an introvert or an extrovert?
Great point.
If you're an introvert, you're going to need some time alone. You're going to need some downtime to kind of step back. Not that you don't love your family, but really plan those moments where I'm going to get out in nature, which we know statistically makes a huge difference on anxiety and depression. I'm going to go for a walk after lunch, and maybe it's going to be by myself, and I'm going to set that boundary because it's important.
You know what comes to mind? I really want us to get for a moment here to talk about what people can do. But I'm going to start by saying people have to learn to say no.
Yes.
I was listening to you about go for the walk and do these things, and it's like we say yes to so many events, and either if a spouse has work events, we have to go to those events, the school events, the family events, and it's too much, and we're in live a life that is constantly going on and on and on. So we just have to decide what really is for us, what does it mean to celebrate the holidays, and how we only going to say yes for those things that matter. But what else can we do?
Well, and to go along those lines, I think just really creating a plan. And yes, you can create a plan, and sometimes things are not going to go according to plan, and you definitely have to be flexible. But creating that plan and understanding that these are the things that I want to make sure that I tackle, and anything else that people may bring to me, I just can't say yes to, because I've already got all of this list of things to do. I've already got this schedule that I need to do, and just having that set plan in front of you and being able to say, okay, I've got this, I'm sorry, I can't go do that today.
Yeah.
Yes.
And one of those plans, I think, especially for young families with small children, is planning ahead of time who you're going to see. Once you have children, everybody wants to see those kids. And not that they don't want to see you, but they really want to see those kids. And it's, how am I going to get these kids everywhere to everyone that loves them and wants to see them? But I am a one human being who is, can only do so much. So it's important for both sides of the generations, the older generation who wants to see them, as well as the young family, to have, sit down and have a loving conversation, an honest conversation about, how can we make this work? How can we juggle and get everybody in? Maybe it's going to be 2 different weekends. Maybe it's not Christmas Day or Thanksgiving Day. Maybe we're going to have to compromise a little bit.
That's a really good point. So if we were to put some tips together, what we would like to say to our audience?
I think one thing that is so helpful is sticking to a routine, which usually goes out the window for most people during the holidays for a lot of reasons. Because we're traveling, or people are visiting, or we're off of work, or whatever. And so a lot of things that we might do on a regular basis that we find helpful, that take care of ourselves, we stop doing during that time when we need it the most. So I think keeping up whatever routine is most helpful, whether it is exercise or whether it is therapy or, a certain, diet plan or whatever is the most helpful as far as like self-care is concerned. I think keeping up those things as best you can is really important.
But there you have it. So our tips and our feedback for all of you during the holidays is that learn how to say no, or when to say no. Choose what activities you want to go to. Keep to a routine. Have some structure. Plan ahead. Exercise. Do some walks outside. And I will end it with have a family conversation on what is the priority of the family, and you all together will decide what is it that you want to do and how you want this holiday to be different. And in one baby step, there's a lot of things that you can choose from. So just choose what's best for you and your family. Thank you all for being with us at Avant-Garde Talk. And you can reach us at our website, www.avantgardecenter.com. Thank you.